hotels.
Welcome back to Taste of PNG here in the Grand Papua. My name is Harold and my assistant Kasper. Now today we're gonna do for you some saksa bread or sago coconut bread with grilled barramundi and some popo and pineapple salsa, which is nice and light and a bit more local. Now the first thing we're gonna do, we do some popo and pineapple salsa. We already prepared here a few items and diced it. And here I just pass over a pineapple to Kasper to dice and chop it down for us. Now for the salsa, we're gonna use some pineapple, diced tomatoes, red onions, sliced shallots, some popo, ripe but still firm, and some coriander and mint, some lemon juice and chili, and a little bit of olive oil. Now he's cutting the pineapple in quite dices, reasonably rough. If you do a salsa, it can be rough, so it looks more rustic. So what we do is basically, I have here a bowl of popo. I just add it into the big bowl there. This pineapple, then some diced shallots, some diced tomatoes, a little bit of shallots, then also a bit some lemon juice. So if you squeeze the lemon, squeeze it between your hands so you can get rid of the seeds, so you don't have them in there. Then we're gonna cut some chili. Put the chili in. Some mint. And also some fresh coriander. And then you chop the coriander quite rough, just a few cuts, you don't need to be overly fine, and put it in. Add a little bit of some olive oil to that, mix it up, a bit more sugar and some salt. Touch of pepper. As you see, that's the final result. That's the salsa, nice and simple. So what we do with the saksa bread, I have here some fresh saksa from Karama. Now use fresh saksa. Fresh saksa is slightly wet, and if you smell it, it has a bit of a buttery, sour flavor. You have here your saksa, so now you add your coconut cream to it. Just pour it in. Then toast the coconut flakes. You just add some in as well. Gives it a bit of a nutty flavor. And also some normal plain untoasted coconut. But keep some of those coconut back because we're gonna use them later for toasting. So you basically gonna whip it till it's the nice batter without any lumps. Then we add a little bit of baking powder to it, probably a half a teaspoon. Some salt. And if there's a little bit of water required, just add a bit more liquid to it, just to soften it a bit up. Now that's perfect, the consistency is. There's a consistency, a bit like a beer batter, nice and thick, so it's gonna sticks together. All right. The next step with it, we go and basically heat up a pan. Reheat it, and we add some normal cooking oil to it. Now when the pan is heated up, all we do is we add a little bit of coconut on the bottom of the pan, just like that, and then we add in 1 ladle of the salsa mix. So basically then you cook it off a little bit like a pancake, and you give it a color till it's golden brown. It will be slightly crispy underneath, but that's what you want, and in the middle it will be gooey. Then also you add a little bit of coconut flakes just on top, so when you turn it, you have on the bottom and on the top your coconut. So now I usually use also a little bit of some clarified butter. I use clarified butter because it doesn't burn and it gives it also a nice flavor. Now the salsa bread is basically one side has the right color. So all we do is basically we flick it just like this. You see it's a nice golden brown, but it's crispy on the outside. Now again I add a little bit of oil to it and a touch of clarified butter, just to give it again a bit a nicer flavor and not get it too dry. So, and this is basically again the sago bread, again crispy outside, and you see if you cut it in the middle will be quite gooey. Now we go and we keep basically the salsa bread warm in the oven. I just have the oven on 100 degrees so the salsa bread stays nice and warm. Now, Casper, if you go please and cook then for me the barramundi. So again, we grab a pan, heat the pan well up, and put a bit some clarified butter in. Season the barramundi with some salt and pepper. Now when he puts the barramundi in, he puts the skin side first up, which would be the darker side. So when you flip the fish, you have the presentation, or the inner side, you have the white side up. If you please put it in. Lovely. Now if the fish is just finished cooked and you touch the fish, it feels like the fish wants to flake a little bit off. So what you do is, if this is the case, you put in the fish aside and just with the pan, and basically the fish cooks now completely finished, nice and slow. It rests and it will be nice and juicy inside. You already will smell it. It has a nice buttery smell. So all we do now is we go and basically I quoted a salsa bread, and you see in the middle, if you're gonna eat it like that, it's nice and gooey and flaky and crisp on the outside. So you just place it on your board. Place your fish on. Put a bit of the salsa on, just like that. And then you can garnish it as you want. We just use a bit of some fresh coconut and put a bit nice mint, garnish, and pure cherry tomatoes if you like. Now this here is our dish with some saxo bread, some grilled barramundi and some popo pineapple salsa. Here for your family some Hammermas time. My name is Harold. Till next time at the Taste of PNG here at the Grand Papua Hotel. Goodbye and enjoy.
This segment was brought to you by Coral Sea Hotels.